And I woke up and I heard noise in the living room, which was the next room over. And I'm laying there and I'm listening and I'm like, what is that? What is going on? And I thought there was an intruder. And I'm listening and I'm hearing the footsteps just as plain as day. And so then I'm just about ready to get up to look. And I start to get out of bed. And I look at the doorway in this ghostly woman, kind of almost angelic, almost like the Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of creepy creatures, came running through the door and ran around my bed, and I was panicked. And I was like trying to scream and I couldn't. And they have what's called sleep paralysis. And I was like, ah, and then I woke up and then it was gone. I always thought that was my mind playing tricks on me. Being maybe in the twilight. But it was so real. It was so real. And then I had another one when I was single, when I was divorced. And sometimes things can get kind of creepy when you live alone.
You've told me this story.
And I had one where I was having trouble sleeping, and sometimes I liked it when I'm laying in bed. Sometimes if I'm feeling a little creeped out, I'll actually when I was younger, I'd actually put the cover over my head. So I'm like laying there on the bed, and I've got my legs up, like kind of like, you know, like how you kind of create a tent where you've got like your legs up in bed, and then the blanket goes over your knees and then over your head. It's kind of like a tent. I had the same thing happen where I was laying there, and I could swear I was wide awake. And I was laying there, and all of a sudden I start hearing sounds again in the room, and I think it's an intruder. And I'm like, I'm just going to lay here and not do anything because I'm kind of scared right now. And as I'm laying there, and you know, you can picture having your legs up with the blanket and that little tent thing. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should I get up? Should I pull the covers up? And right as I was thinking that, it was like someone took their finger and poked down on the blanket and pushed it down, like between my legs and my head. And it scared the crap out of me, and then I jolted, and then it was done. Was that a dream? Probably.
Was this at the Orville house?
Yes.
I think that house was secretly haunted. There was some creepy things.
Why do you think?
Whenever I turned off, I mean, maybe this is just being a kid, but whenever I turned off the lights of the basement, my butt was booking it up those stairs. Mm-hmm. I mean, booking it up those stairs because something was just like, laying down there by myself. No thanks.
I have a similar story. When I was real young, I had lost my dad in a car accident. I was only 5 years old. And so, of course, I would go and I would sleep sometimes with my mom, you know, in the bed because I was scared and I was laying in the bed. And so I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I have this dream where she turns over and she's got like this really like frightening, horrific, like horrible face. And she's like, whoa, like, you know, like then I attack, you know, and I'm like, oh shit, you know? And so then I like jolted awake, and then I'm like, because I wanted to tell my mom about it. And I'm like, mom, you know, and I'm jostling her, mom. And all of a sudden she turns over and goes, and it was still evidently the dream. And it happened like 3 times in a row. And finally, the last time, it was like no different than the others. I jostled her again, and then she's like, Tim, and it was normal. But it's something how stuff like that happens. And I've actually had, I don't know if you guys have ever had dreams. Dreams are an interesting subject. I've never even thought about that for this podcast, but there's a lot of places you can go with dreams. I have actually had dreams where I'm dreaming, and then I realize that I'm dreaming. Have you ever had in the dream? And you can do like whatever you want. I mean, I could fly. I went through the roof. I was up in the air. I went back down. I mean, there's nothing you couldn't do. And it was so cool because you knew it was just a dream, but you still were able to do all the cool stuff that you can do in a dream. So I wonder how many other people have experienced that.
No, I forget what that's called.
Lucid
Peyote
dreaming?
nightmares? I don't know.
Lucid dream.
Lucid dreaming. That's lucid dreaming.